better. I can, yeah. I don't have a real good feel for it, but anytime, bud. All right.
Back.
Thunderstorm and everything real bad in my area, so yeah. My power went out, I'm sorry. Premiumbeat.com.
Fuck, I gotta make it through this race. Ten four, buddy. Ten four. Alright. Oh, no, definitely not. Damn, I really don't know how I'm gonna get through this race. Sorry, I just got, like, awful news. What is that? You there?
More incorrect hosting sessions than I have correct ones. Big facts there, my friend. Big facts.
I'm guilty too. I do it almost every week with the front row session.
Race fans, welcome to the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix, Arizona, the place. Locked in right here in prime time, the nighttime, of course, always good for some hardcore, high-flying racing action as the SSIL presents the Reaper Xfinity Series live from Phoenix. I'm the voice, Matt Metler, up here in the tower as usual. Great to be back to normal as we resume broadcast operations here on Redline Racing Network. So we're currently underway in open qualifying. Ooh, the 18 getting up there against the fence. Definitely not what he was looking for. And he's going to fast forward back, or I should say, not fast forward. He's going to respawn there in the pits. Joining me in the booth tonight, I have a special guest, driver of the two, comes over from the very famous, highly competitive Moonshiners Racing League. Darren Mills, how are you doing tonight, my brother?
I'm doing all right tonight, hanging in there.
Hey, that's about all
Trying to
you can
qualify right now. Nope. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
No, not a problem. I see you're out there on the racetrack. How is that Chevrolet Camaro thus far through 4 minutes of open round qualifying?
For me, it's a little tight in the center, but it's coming around. It seems to be get better the longer I run it, so I don't know if it's showing up in speed, but it's definitely showing up in handling.
Well, as I watch you make your way around this racetrack, I can definitely see that car becoming more balanced and planted in that racing surface. You know, the bottom is the fastest way around this racetrack, but that line is certainly going to evolve over the course of the run tonight. You know, you're known for being a great long-run driver. You always seem to be there, especially if you get those green flag runs. What do you consider the keys to success here tonight at Phoenix?
Keys to success for me are going to be staying out of early wrecks and really being able to wrap the bottom on the long run.
Yeah, wrapping the bottom, you know, that's the shortest way around this racetrack. However, you know, this Xfinity car, you're actually putting out more horsepower to those Dr. Feelgoods than the next-gen car. You know, what do you have to do as far as controlling throttle modulation to make sure those tires last the course of the run?
Thank you.
You said it best. You just have to manage your throttle, not jump on it too early, make that rear tire spin, or push the nose. You just really have to be gentle on the throttle and the brake here.
Hey, you got to modulate that throttle, almost treat it like a wet sponge underneath your foot, steady as she goes, and that is the key to ensuring you keep those good years underneath you. As we're now 5 minutes through open qualifying, Darren, that's going to slot you just outside the top 10 in that P13 position. I'll let you go ahead and get prepped, ready to rock and roll here at Phoenix. Thanks for joining us up here in the booth. If we have time during the course of the race, we'll check back in with you as we monitor your progress here tonight, sir.
The race number 4.
All right. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate everything you do up here, buddy.
Hey, I appreciate you joining us. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that Chevrolet Camaro.
Phoenix, Arizona tonight. You got
in the
200 laps tonight.
We're going to go ahead and keep an eye on his progress here tonight as he tries to conquer Phoenix here in prime time this evening. That field getting ready, set to rock and roll.
Concept for race car drivers, we all know that. But
as they're now having their pre-race briefing from race control. As that field is set and primed. Dalton McKinney, in that 46. He is going to have that pole position here tonight. Lilith Peters in that one machine. No surprise seeing this woman first time in the series, and yet she's starting P2. Probably one of the better female talents in iRacing. Every single series I see this woman compete in, she is always there, always a factor. Keep an eye on the one here tonight as well, as this field is now set and gridding behind that iRacing.com pace car.
And the stage number 2 will be lap.
I'm going to go ahead here and bring up the race info for this evening. I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in right here on Redline Racing Network, your home for the Xfinity Reaper Series.
If I have time to get it out under yellows, I will.
Weather looks absolutely gorgeous here tonight.
Xfinity car is Cash forgot to load the
As I said, Phoenix, Arizona, the place doesn't get any better, especially this time of the year. And why did my graphics just disappear? Well, hey, always fight through it here. Little pre-race curveball, never hurt anything. As we'll let that team get to work on that. We'll try this here again. As that field now begins to roll. Again, in sim time right now, just after 4:30 p.m. desert time. So that's going to be desert southwest. That elusive 2-mile-an-hour winds always seems to follow us no matter where we stop in the series. As we watch Darren Mills roll off pit road. 73 degrees air ambient temperature, 0% humidity in the air. That means these cars going to be making all the power here tonight. Skies you couldn't ask for any better. Hopefully you brought plenty of sunblock. It is clear. And that track temperature, ladies and gentlemen, drivers, hope they have their game faces on. A staggering 135 degrees. It's going to be like an ice skating rink out there. Take you to the front of the field. iRacing.com pace car is going to pull off. McKinley's going to stand on it through the floorboards, and here we go. Live from Phoenix. Already 3 wide just behind the leader. Lilith Peters wasting no time, ripping the bottom, just as Darren Mills alluded to in pre-race. She's going to challenge Brad Key for that second place position, as it is a hornet's nest inside the top 10, top 15. And caution out of the racetrack already. We just got going, and now we're going to have to hit the brakes, jump on the binders, and slow this thing back down.
That's on me. I checked up to not run over Polly and got loose.
Oh, it looks like Jonathan Wiley here perhaps ran over Jordan Polly, the Whitehead Racing entry. Let's see what the eye in the sky picked up here. Is again working our very first caution for incident tonight, going back to the Redline Racing instant replay. Going to go ahead and slow this thing down here for you guys, and we're going to go to the eye in the sky, see what happened. It all starts right there. There's a bottleneck. That field's got to start to check up to react to this piece. Ooh, just ran out of real estate. The 17 is going to come down, squeeze that 69 car, Christopher Cash. That's going to cause a checkup. The 11 is going to get into the 57. He goes into full-blown drift mode right in front of Darren Mills. Great accident avoidance by him. The 9, he's going to get a slight piece of it and finish off the 11. He, however, does not make contact with that inside retaining wall. Major catastrophe avoided. Great heads up by all of these drivers. We're going to take a look at this here one more time and go on board with the 2. As he had probably some of the best tickets in the house for this. Let's go ahead and cue that up for everybody one more time here.
11. Go ahead.
This is going to be at speed. On board with Mills out his nose cam. Just loses it down the racetrack. And let's take one more look at this while the field gets reset, ready to rock and roll. Gonna roll this back for everybody. You can see this happening just in front of the 2 of Darren Mills. We go back to live coverage now at iRacing.com. Pace car in charge of the field. You see those lights on, which means we have to go at least another lap before we go back to caution flag. Or caution flag. Go back to green flag racing, excuse me. You know, and while we do this, I really want to get a look at this incident.
Two-tone car, automatically DQ'd. Chrome. Can't miss.
From Darren Mills in the 2. Here we go. Let's go on board with him again here. Going to ride along with Darren Mills here, and we watch this incident unfold just in front of him. This, of course, at speed. You see, he notices there's going to be a problem. He checks up at the 11. It just comes down right across his face. What great heads-up driving is, you know, someone with less experience could have easily ended their night on lap 1. Great situational awareness there by Darren Mills. Field is set, ready to rock and roll. That pace car is going to pull off. McKinney, he has the trigger. Camaro on Toyota. Action on the front row.
All right, y'all. Due to a little room here on the restart.
Remember, got a long ways to go to come around here to the Geico restart zone after that pace car pulls off. In the Geico restart zone, here we go. Large and in charge, back on the gas. Oh, the 46! Almost lost it as he took it down to the flats. I hate that dog leg. That thing causes so much problems here at Phoenix. Man, look at the 3, Radke, really ripping the top of this racetrack. Gets a great run up there on the restart, though. Something I probably wouldn't have tried. But he knows something that I don't because it worked. Was able to clear that Pennzoil machine being driven by Lilith Peters. She's paying homage there to the DEI machine of Steve Park. New best lap of the race. That's going to be a 29.98. So we've clipped the 28-second bracket. So we now work lap 7. Gillard and that 54 out early as he becomes the first casualty here in the desert Southwest. Starting to get single file. These drivers know, hey, you cannot win this thing on lap 1. You have to survive, be alive when that checkered flag falls. And you see that field reacting now as we have a long way to go here. 200 laps, the scheduled distance. Is McKinney now about 0.4 of a second advantage over that 3. Lilith Peters currently rounds out that final podium position in 3rd. Brandon Cooper. Remember, we have 2 Coopers in the field here tonight. In that 18 machine, Lucas Whitehead making an appearance here tonight back in the SSIL. We haven't seen him, I believe, since week 1 on the Cup side of things, if I remember correctly. He's running in that 5th place position. Corey Stahl runs 6, up 2 spots. Christopher Cash, the HMF IC of the league, in 7th. Hayes rounds out that 8th place position. Colley in 9th, and Christopher Tate, another competitor in the Cup Series, rounds out the top 10. So we're now working lap 10. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and thank our official design and paint scheme sponsor of the SSIL Xfinity Reaper Series, also a part of the Strategic Family Alliance, that is Black Magic. You guys are looking for 100% custom, authentic design. You're sick of seeing all the stuff on trading paints, just getting some color changes, using the same template everyone else uses. Well, get out of the static, go see the boys at Black Magic, and don't forget, it's good for a few tenths out there on the racetrack as well. Radke continues to try to find and hunt for a couple extra hundredths out there as McKinney just continues to be a couple ticks faster. Last time by a 28.74 to P1. Radke a 28.76, so you can see just how close those times are. Then you got to go 1.14 seconds back to that 3rd place entry of Lilith Peters, who makes her debut in the Reaper Series. In fact, let's go on board for a couple green flag laps with Lilith Peters while we got the time here as this race kind of calms down, starts to calm down a little bit. Give her the screen time she absolutely deserves. Don't forget, you're looking for some great steak sauce. In fact, this sauce is boss. It goes good on anything. Hot dogs, steaks, ribs. Heck, I even put that stuff on burritos, breakfast food, eggs, you name it. Luna's steak sauce. Check it out. Use promo code KaijuCat1 to get 10% off your first order. And don't forget to tell them Lilith Peters sent you. That's going to be foxfirefoods.com, not to be confused with the web browser Firefox. That's FOXFIREFOODS.com. You can see Lilith here really working on that throttle control and being very, very ginger with just how much horsepower she's requesting as she navigates this racetrack. Remember, Mills told us this was critical, and you can see Lilith Peters obviously agrees with this, as she is really backing up that entry. A lot of off throttle time here, and she's not, picking up that throttle at all till we're almost back to the Geico restart zone. Gets a little loose off the top, and as that track temperature still north of 130 degrees, that is going to happen. Now through 18 laps of competition, really no change inside the top 5, top 10. Darren Mills, our in-race reporter, he's up 2 spots from where he started. As we're approaching lap 20, and you can see his lap times, they're starting really to become very competitive. Last time by, he just ran a 29.97. Certainly faster than some of the cars inside the top 5, and look for that trend to continue as we stay green. And we got some big time 3 wide racing just up the road from Mills. Christopher Cash right there in the 69. He is under siege right now from good golly. Here comes Polly. Oh, Polly's gonna get into Cash. Or the way that car reacted, it seemed like that. Oh, they're gonna high five each other again. Tell you what, Chris Cash, he is a good dude, great driver, but you don't want to do that to him too many times because he's a lot like Senior in that case. He doesn't put up with BS out there on the racetrack, especially only 21 laps through this thing. Jordan Pauly, a very good, very aggressive race car driver. He's a lot like Ryan Newman in some respects. These two are putting on a clinic. This is hard, good side-by-side racing. Cash not wanting to kill those tires gives him the spot. Yeah, upon further review there, the 57 of Pauly did not get into Cash. That looked like a little bit of netcode between those two, but nonetheless, some great side-by-side racing. That's how it's done here at Phoenix. If you're tracking Jordan Pauly's progress, he's up 2 spots. Biggest mover of the race, no surprise. The Cup Series All-Star, Christopher Tate, up 10 spots. He is now inside the top 7. As that 30 machine continues to run P7. Roughly 6.5 seconds back from your leader. It's been all McKinney here in the desert. We're through 23 laps of competition. However, Radke in that Supra. Just a personal note here. It is so crazy seeing a 3 car on the racetrack with a Toyota badge on it. That just screws with me every time. I don't care how many times I watch him turn laps. It just does not feel right at all. 29.93 McKinney last time by to Radke's 29.59, so they have flip-flopped. He has found those 2/10. Well, Dalton in the 46 has lost those 2/10, and we're going to have a great battle here for the lead here momentarily. In fact, the 3 is there. He's going to turn it down low. He's going to eat hard on the inside, driving hard into the corner. Great job keeping that Supra on the bottom. This is a drag race. John Force special. He's going to take it all the way down to the flatlands. Way out of the racing group. Kicking up dust, marbles, you name it. He was so low. He could have high-fived the pace car. Because we still don't have it settled. It's a John Force special down the backstretch. These two guys being very respectful, very courteous of each other, giving these competitors plenty of room. And while this is going on, Lilith Peters is literally salivating at the mouth watching these two burn their stuff up because she knows she is going to be in great position here to strike as now the 3 finally clears. That 46. How much of a premium did those guys pay on those with those Goodyears? Because that was some hard-fought racing for about 3 laps. Is now Cooper, the Brandon version in that 4 machine, avoids concrete poisoning as he got really close to that safer barrier, but did not make contact now through 28 laps of competition. And while the field is calm and out there logging laps, we continue our march towards the scheduled 200 laps of competition here tonight. We're going to step aside, pay some bills, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more high-flying racing action. You're locked into the Reaper Xfinity Series. We'll be back momentarily. Race fans, welcome back to the Valley of the Sun here in Phoenix. SSIL in competition, the Xfinity Series, of course. Now through 40 laps of competition written in the history books in the inaugural season. And welcome back to an epic three-way battle here. As Lilith Peters right now is in the trenches, World War II style, going up against the 66 of Corey Stahl here. Or excuse me, that is Brandon Cooper there in the 18, as that battle has quickly dissipated just as fast as it got good.
Is this the stage? Up, should get one lap green.
Is caution now back out on the racetrack. That could be stage. Is that field now going to start to slow things down? Philip Peters going to come down pit road. Looks like we had a problem with Brandon Bressler. Getting a report that he had made contact out there on the racetrack. Go back here to the replay. This just before the end of the stage one here. Currently piloting the 72. Oh, he just loses it. Comes down. Makes some minor contact there with the inside wall. And then that's why the caution came out.
Yeah, I think we're going to overshoot it a lap again.
Looks like he tried to tow it back to the pits, but iRacing picked up on the fact that that 72 there was stopped out there on the racing surface, even though he was off the off of the preferred lane there, or lanes, I should say.
Lap 47, a 2-lap shootout.
Gonna have a 2-lap shootout here, because that 72 now back in the pits. This is certainly going to make things interesting here. Going to dial the excitometer way up again. So we're going to have to do this old school Friday night last chance qualifier style here for the end of stage one.
Just curious, is there lucky dogs?
McKinney, that 46 has been a dominant force here tonight, but look who is now in that P2 position. He was racing Christopher Cash really hard early. They were putting on a great show. Jordan Pauly, Whitehead racing in that 57. He is going to share the front row on this restart with the 46. Bradley Bartley up 3 in third.
Drivers, you will have a one.
The Indianapolis native, born right there, probably in my opinion, one of the greatest historic racing facilities in the entire, on a global scale, I should say, in my opinion.
So I was busy doing other RC shit.
In third, Austin Cooper, up 15 positions, not 5, not 10, 15. Biggest mover of the race. Christopher Cash in the 69 ride 6. Jared Hayes, Braden Kelly, Lilith Peters after making a pit stop in 9th. Cody Sanderson and Christopher Tate going to round out the top 10 here. So we get ready for a 2-lap battle. Pace car is going to pull off here. Going to go on board with the 46 for this restart. Look how close this field is just piled together. Green flag in the air, and here we go. 2 laps to determine stage 1.
Black clear.
Oh, we got trouble in the back. Someone went for a ride. That was the 91 of Weston Vander.
That is
Whoa, if I butchered that, I apologize. We're just going to call him Weston Vander for now.
And I don't think the lucky dogs were activated.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to bring through that radio chatter here tonight as well. And
Telling me I am lucky dog, so I think you're right.
so I'm not getting any notification up here in the booth that there was a lucky dog awarded. We're going to have to see how RC and the rest of the race admins are going to handle that.
Did y'all have an X or anything like hitting the wall or anything like that? I didn't hit anybody at all or touch anybody because I knew I was lucky dog and it's not telling me. Oh, I didn't. I was all by myself pretty much, so I didn't hit anything. Wasn't all that. Make it easy. What'd you say, Chris?
Getting
If you're
report
lucky,
here from the
don't call
production
it
room.
out,
We're having some
and
more
we'll get you
graphical
around.
errors here.
Okay, I need
As
I need to wave
SDK
like
has
this.
undergone some
I should be lucky.
updates here. Gonna try to get that smoothed
I don't
out for
think
you
it would tell
guys
you
as
yet,
well.
would it? I was going to tell you with like 2 to green. It'll
There
say
we
lucky
go. They
dog
got that
candidate
corrected. Let's get
once
the
you're
normal
through
tower
the lap
back
of the
up.
pacing. Who was the other driver that that was lucky dog the last caution? Wes Vanderkolk.
As RC and company get this sorted out. And look who's up there in the lead. With that beautiful Steve Park throwback in the Chevrolet LP.
This is why I shouldn't make sessions at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Lucas Whitehead currently in that second place position. Brad Key, that's been really the story. Class of the field here thus far. In third, Corey Stahl in fourth. Residing in fifth, Christopher Tate, Dalton McKinley, Jordan Polly, Bradley Bartley, Cooper, the Braden version in ninth, and Christopher Cash going to round out your top 10 here. So we have now hit the first stage here tonight. Again, 200 laps, the scheduled distance this evening. Want to thank everyone for tuning in right here. Got it set on the right YouTube dial. Now join the right racing network that's going to bring you all of this high-octane excitement. The only place you're going to find the SSIL Reaper Series as well. That's right here on Redline. Smash the like button, ring the bell, join the family so you don't miss any of the Reaper Series Xfinity action here in prime time each and every time they're doing battle out there on the racetrack Monday night. Believe that was the 32 of
Choose Cone Park.
got the Choose Cone out there. Tom Fritas does so much for the series. Let's go on board with the Choose car. What do you guys say? Remember, you hit the Choose car, and you will choose yourself literally out of the race. Yes, we have made our choices as far as starting on the inside, the outside. Here we go. Pace car is going to pull off, but we got a little bit, almost a half a lap or so to come back around. for these drivers to take that green flag. Go on board here with Lilith Peters on the restart. Into that Geico restart zone. She's deep in the box. I'm back on the gas, and what a restart there by Peters. Green flag back in the air, climbing up through the gears. That's about as good as it gets of a cat and mouse game. Let's look at the close quarters action just off of her rear bumper. However, she is going to get clear. She continues to lead here now, her first laps of the race, carrying the torch. And we got ourselves a Whitehead Radke battle here for second. They're leaning on each other. Oh, you know Christopher Tate is... Oh, we got problems. Someone robbed the bank and took cash to the cleaners. Oh, he is smoking. That car is a mangled mess. It's caution back out on the racetrack. Who done did it to the HMFIC of the league here? So we seem to be having all the problems right off these restarts, and that would make sense given the track temp and these drivers trying to get that very important track position and gain those spots out there on the racing surface. Best way to do that on these restarts, and that's when we have seen the calamity at times. Very unfortunate here for the driver of the 69 Chevrolet Camaro.
Chris Cash in 69 came down on the 18. Chris Cash, that's your first EOL of the evening.
Sounds like Christopher Cash here gonna get charged with the crime. Go back to the Redline Racing Network instant replay here. Just right off the restart. Oh, wait a minute. Was that netcode? I mean, he just pulled a Petey Pablo there. He's spinning around like a helicopter there, literally. Let's roll this back. Gonna send it up to Jimmy Agenfelder there in the chopper. And let's see what the eye in the sky picked up here. So there you have Cash in the 69. Do they actually make contact here? I'm not so sure about that. Oof. After that, they certainly did. It got up close and personal. And Tom Freitas does a great job, and he's saying it was on Cash then. I'm going to go with RC, but let's try a different camera angle here. Let's cue this up one more time. We're still under caution. Let's go ahead and run this at quarter speed.
Choose car parked.
So now you're on board with Cash here. Looking to see if there is contact. You can see his car reacting. There we go. Let's just bring this back a little bit more. Getting dizzy at home. I do apologize, but this is going to give us the best look. So here comes the 18 into the picture. Do they make contact? They do not. Still no contact. No contact. No contact. That is a net code responsible catalyst for that wreck out on the racetrack. I thought that may have been the case. Want to thank the replay team for all our help getting those shots. Is I just had to know for myself here what and everyone here at home want to know there is netcode, one of those things one of the gremlins we have to deal with here in the sim world. You don't have that in real life, but on the other side of it, you don't have to put your body through that grueling punishment. Is Cash back on pit road? So we're under caution. We have some more. Things of the negative type transponding out there on the racetrack as we finally dissected the great caper between Cash and the 18. And while we were doing that, another caution, as Darrell Waltrip has said on NASCAR and Fox all those years ago, and for a long time during his tenure there, cautions breed cautions. And that is certainly what is going on here.
Looks
Looks like
Cooper.
Cooper.
The 18 just obliterated the 97. The 97 did get into the
He
corner
said
a little slower than
obliterated.
normal, but,
The
regardless,
97.
18
Well, let's see some
well.
obliteration. Wait for it. Oh my God. I mean, he just Arca braked the heck out of him. Jammed it in the back door on the business end. I'll say.
And,
I got to
well,
agree with RC on that
not
one.
out by 1 to go. She was like it was.
I mean, that wasn't
Well,
nice and easy. I mean, that was full send. Boink. I'm not sure if that was payback or perhaps he was picking daisies, playing with some switches, turning his fans on and off in the 18, but he kind of forgot to lift there and use the other pedal in the race car because he absolutely smoked him. Gonna have to re-rack him, restack him, do it again. Again, you're live right here on Redline Racing Network. Currently under caution for an incident involving multiple cars out there on the racetrack. Little Arca brake gone wrong. I'm going to step aside. We'll be back momentarily, but we're going to keep it non-stop coverage. You're not going to miss anything right here on Redline Racing Network.
Choose cars parked. All right, y'all. Let's have a little patience here. man. That should have been yellow.
That's on me, though. I got a little loose of the correct there. Sorry, little guy. Yep.
The 33 tried to go, or the 19, Lucas tried to go to the inside of the 3 car, and the 46 car was there. So Lucas first EOLE. Choose cars.
Race fans, welcome back to Phoenix as we're ready to go back. Green flag racing. That pace car is pulled back off down pit road, which is going to leave Lilith Peters here, large and in charge once again here as he carries the torch in the Valley of the Sun. Cautions breed cautions, and that has been one of the main storylines of this race is where the Geico restart zone. Peters is gonna let it rain as these glorious V8s come back to life, roaring through the heavens. Christopher Tate giving her all she can handle as Peters was able to get free, but Tate is gonna keep it wound up on that second groove as they're still side by side. Tate gets loose up top, still has a big run. Drag race down the backstretch. Who's it going to be at the line to lead that lap? Still LP by a nose. Peters going to clear the 30 with some rough and tough, hard-fought, hard-grit racing there for P1. Proof between Tate and Peters, you don't have to wad each other's race cars up and do a keg stand into the fence to put on a good show. I'm Matt Metler up here in the Red Line broadcast booth through 70 laps now of competition. As it's Peters, Tate, McKinney, Radke, Polly, Bartley, Corey Stahl, Sanderson, and Hayes. And running out your top 10, Jonathan Wiley. So we're back to single file. These drivers just decided, hey, we're sick of these cautions flags being out, all these cautions out on the racetrack. Let's get back to racing. And you see these guys just, and these competitors, I should say, dial back the intensity. It's now Pauly falling back into the clutches here. To Bartley, but as we always say, or I always do at least, catching him is one thing, passing them is another. This is for 5th place there. Between the Toyota of Pauly and Bartley in that Camaro. Go on board here with Bartley. Looking out the front of that Camaro. Tell you what, those previous Gen V8s sound just so much better than the current engine in those next gens. If you really want to spice it up, throw some boom tubes on there. It doesn't get any better. You guys at home don't know what I'm talking about. Just go to YouTube, check out boom tubes and the Gen 4 in the search query. Stapleton 42, NASCAR enthusiast and historian, has done extensive video coverage on boom tubes and exhausts as well. So if you love the sounds of these V8s, check him out. As no one does boom tube exhaust installations, break down the history and the evolution of it back in the Gen 4 era. Better than him, in my opinion. Now working lap 75 of the scheduled distance of 200 laps here from Phoenix. This obviously the new track configuration. If you remember back in the day, right outside of turn 3, on the old configuration, you had all that prime seating up on top of the hill. That is, I believe, gone now. But that was certainly a hot spot. Not only if you wanted to get absolutely raked by the sun, but another free piece of, free as far as not having to buy your way into the facility, but was a great piece of real estate to sit out there, throw a picnic blanket down on the sand and sit out there with your family. Had some great party up on that hill too back in the day. But not the case anymore with this new configuration. Christopher Tate has done it. Basically started back in the woods in this piece. Not the case anymore, as Tate now is the leader. Carries the torch. If you're tracking Lilith Peters' performance, the Kaiji Cat Motorsports entry, paying homage to Steve Park there in that beautiful Pennzoil Chevrolet. She runs third. She was pretty much the dominant force there for about the span of 30, 35 laps. Now she's mired back in that dirty air just a little bit. as we're about 20 laps shy of halfway. Ooh. Radke got a piece of the fence there.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, just a little bit. You can see the crinkle just above that Dr. Feelgood. These cars aren't as resilient as the next-gen car. That thing is like a battle tank in so many ways. This car of the older era. Oh, as he gets into the fence again. You're here from the start. Jeffrey Radke basically led the opening, I want to say 25, 30 laps in this. But that Supra is off a little bit. Not sure if he's got some damage he needs to fix under the next opportunity. Or perhaps his track is just changing. Speaking of that, let's take a look and find out. Remember, top of the broadcast, we were right at that 135-degree track temperature. That track temp has gone up. So now a staggering 138. My God, you might as well line the racetrack with Crisco. Paulie's in a sandwich there between the 3. And the 46 just in front of him. This all 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the racetrack. This thing's starting to heat up here once again. And that will be the case as we approach the conclusion of Stage 2. On board with Paulie. Threw up his telemetry there in the bottom right-hand corner for you guys. I know the back of McKinney's car says whip it up. I don't think he wants to get tail whipped. Paulie might act. Don't do it, Paulie. Don't do it. Haven't had to deal with the broadcaster's curse yet tonight, and I want to keep it that way. As he does battle there with the 46 machine, just off the nose of that Supra.
Yes, sir.
A lot of these drivers really starting to explore the space, getting up closer and closer to the fence. Multiple cars making slight contact here on corner exit and entry. Whoa, what a power slide there by Tate. That was certainly a don't stain your ride, use tide moment of the races. That could have been code everything inside the cockpit of the 30. Promise you, Lilith Peters had a great view of that one. On board with LP once again. You can see the swarm just behind that Pennzoil Chevrolet. Now approaching lap 90. Ooh, she gets a little loose coming off the corner there. You can see that Pennzoil doing the Jake. Having a great run in her maiden voyage in the Reaper Xfinity Series. You know, again, I know I just touched on it earlier, but just a well-rounded, very polished race car driver, especially in the next gen. And I haven't seen her pilot a solid rear axle race car. No surprise. She's doing it and doing it well here in prime time once again.
Drivers at his end of stage.
That's going to be the end of the stage. Stage number 2 now in the books. Christopher Tate going to get credit for that win. In stage 2, Lilith Peters comes up second. Dalton McKinley rounds out the top 3. Jordan Polly currently in 4th as everyone's going to be coming down pit road. Dr. Feelgood's going to take a go fast. Jeffrey Radke 5th. Corey Stahl 6th. Bartley going to get credit for 7th place position. Brandon Cooper slots in 8th. Sanderson 9th. And rounding out the top 10, getting 1 stage point, Lucas Whitehead in 10th. Pit stops underway. End of stage 2. We're going to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. You're here live on YouTube. Redline Racing Network. In prime time.
scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win, and
Good, take 48. My bad, man. Hell, a good save. I need to change my underwear. That was a hell of a save, dude. Thank you. I'll back way for this. I'm out. I have a minute.
Race fans, welcome back to the Valley of the Sun, high above the Phoenix Raceway. As green flag was back in the air momentarily, and we kept the streak going of restarts equal collisions here in the Reaper Series, and that's exactly what happened. That pace car now back out in front of the field. However, not seeing in the timing and scoring. Let's check here. Yeah, that's going to be involving Cooper, the Brandon version, and Dalton McKinley. So I believe we do have a replay now available. So we'll get that queued up for you guys. Ooh, the 48 just power slides it in there, goes drift mode. And as that happens, oh, we have a 1-2 whack-a-mole situation up the top. The fuse gets lit and the bomb goes kaboom. That's going to definitely throw out the caution every time that happens. 18 is going to burn it down, spin it around. Oh, and the 46 wasn't able to get those tires to break loose and almost bondsided into the fence. Nonetheless, that yellow flag reigns supreme here once again. Tate continues to lead here. We go back to the live side of things.
We're going to chalk that one up as a racing incident for now.
Going to be deemed a racing incident by RC.
Saved it, didn't get into the wall.
Listen to the voice of
coming out the corner. He gets
race control on the broadcast.
He's running his normal line and got into the 46. But yeah, we'll chunk it up as a racing incident unless Tate wants to take it. I hear Tate's going to take it.
He said Tate's going to take it. You usually don't take too much. He's often the more of the giving kind.
There was the 3 bounced off the wall coming off the corner there. Would be the only reason. I think it was just a racing deal.
So as we shuffle the deck here, get things resorted
Kind of calling it as a racing deal.
For another restart.
Make a fair call for everybody.
And if we can get through these restarts, and the racing has been great post restart, if we do have problems, it's going to happen right off the rip here.
No choose car, y'all. Make sure y'all choose.
No choose.
Oh, you never mind. You're already going.
Pace car pulled off. We have that trip down the backstretch before we get to that Geico restart zone. Where does Tate choose to unleash that V8? Here comes the Geico restart zone. He goes way late in the box. Chris Hubka, green flag back in the air. Your number one source for real estate. 3 wide in the... Wow. This was just in back of Lucas Whitehead. That was Cooper Sanderson. Lilith Peters was absolutely dead center. Oh, and the 66 goes for a ride. Multiple cars getting dammed up, and oh no! Lilith Peters has her face ripped off.
Where are you? I'm sorry about that.
Now that bumper does reappear on that Shell Pennzoil, or excuse me, Pennzoil Chevrolet. LP going to bring it down pit road for some much needed repairs. Remember, these drivers do have that choker. They have that wild card, that fast repair if they do need so to use it. Your insta-fix to all problems. But you only get one, so if you choose to use it wisely. Well, let's uncork this incident. Involving Corey Stoll. Gonna back this up. Let's go to the eye in the sky.
Guys, I might be starting to cut in and out. The weather's getting really bad here.
All right.
So you're getting hot and spicy here.
67 slow down and the 66 slow down to avoid them, and then the 19 or 33.
Just right off the
whichever number he's
restart.
running tonight. Lucas.
The 19's going to drive it in there.
Got it.
Just smack the crap out of the 66 LP with nowhere to go. And we see parts raining into the infield. Take a look from this from Lilith Peters. We're going to reload this one again. This is on board with the one. Comes up to speed here. And just watch this crunch. That impact was from Lilith Peters. Let's call this back. Wind back the tape. Show you guys at home, you just have nowhere to go and just split second here to make a decision. On board with Lilith Peters, going to slow this down. So you can see it starts to go bad in front of her. She sees the tire smoke, starts to jump on the blinders there.
Choose car will be parked.
This track self-cleansing, and the 66 going to come down and nowhere to go. And so, pow! You can see the helmet come forward. It was a violent impact for Lilith. Probably had to use a fast repair as well. It's an unfortunate situation here. Sometimes that's just a racing deal. It's unfortunate, but that's just how the cards fall. But that Pennzoil Chevrolet is looking good once again, as she did use that fast repair. However, going to restart now in that 12th place position. Going to have her work cut out for her. As Christopher Tate still leads. Chevy on Toyota restart here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Phoenix. We had an unfortunate weather event here at the broadcast center. Lightning strike knocked power and everything completely out. We are now on generator backup power as we resume coverage, working lap 153. There is going to be a brief commentary pause as we work on getting ALF systems back up and running. We'll be with you as soon as possible and apologize for any type of inconvenience in tonight's coverage.
Go ahead, Wick.
Thank you.
Y'all got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes.
Staying high.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
I believe I'm Lucky Dog.
Sorry. Hey, let's get this stacked up quick so we can get to the caution here. Try to get your boys and everybody as many laps as we can get in here. I'm liking this racing up front. It's pretty good to watch here.
Brandon, that is your first EOL of the evening. A self-spin there on the match finish.
Is there a block clear for passing the pace car?
Are we choosing here?
Yes.
Choose now. We're going to be going 1 to green here.
Green, green, green.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back up to full broadcast power. Want to thank you, everyone, for bearing with us here live on Red Line Racing Network. Is now working lap 169 of scheduled 200. I believe time may be of the essence. In real life, you can have rain wipe a race out.
17, that's the second time tonight
I
you've
think
done some
time
dumb shit
may
to me.
become an issue, and I think the 13.
Who, me?
Yeah, who else?
be
may
only
have
17.
been a
I
catalyst
was nowhere
in
near you,
this
bud.
incident right off the restart here.
That's my fault,
And if
Bubba.
if you guys remember, if you've been following along, this has been the main
Actually,
catalyst in
Nick,
all the
that's
issues
100% on you.
have been
You got
right
to
off.
set it in there on the 18, and you couldn't keep it on the bottom. You're
See if we can get this
car and a
replay
half
loaded
off
up
the
here
bottom. That
again
is on
and
you.
working for you
The
guys.
second time you ran over something, not doing that. Okay.
See what went
You can
wrong.
gladly go back and watch it. I got it all written down.
Send it upstairs to the eye in the sky. Close quarters racing. The 66 stall is going to slide up the racetrack again, kind of like he did earlier. He's going to get into the back of the 18, and he's just going to lose it.
Are we choosing here again?
Locking it down. Mills is going to
Yeah,
skate through on the bottom along with the 17.
Laps here.
Oh, the 97 is not going to have the same fate, and he is going to rearrange his grill as he's going to be eating through a straw for the next couple weeks. Boom shakalaka, NBA Jam style, as he stuffs it into the 66. And once again, these restarts wreak havoc when it comes to incident on the racetrack. Those lights out on the pace car. We should be going green flag racing this time by. It's Pauly, Radke, McKinney, Peters, Bradley, Mills, Cooper, Wiley, Hayes, and Sanderson. That's the top 10. Pace car is going to peel off. We're on board with Pauly for this restart. Long way once that pace car does pull off. You basically got to finish your journey down the backstretch, come through the 3 and 4 complex, and you should start to see the Geico restart zone there on the left. There we are.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. A little bit of wheel spin there. Climbs up through the gearbox. Let's see if we can keep it green. It's now working lap 173, and we do.
Let's just drive all over the track there, buddy.
Here's Peters looking to the inside of Radke. The 3 able to defend and hold her off. Pauly continues to carry the torch here, as he's got about a 0.2 of a second advantage, about 2 car lengths over that Camaro of McKinney. Ooh, he gets a little squirrely on entry there. That's going to allow Radke to close in. And here goes Lilith Peters looking to the inside.
Made a black flag clear for the shoes.
Just 25 laps to go. And now that we got this broadcast stable, we're going to have to switch gears here on our end and go put some more fuel in the generator to make sure we have coverage through to the end of this one. I'm going to step aside momentarily. Not going to go miss anything, as we're going to go non-stop coverage.
Good win, Jordan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good win, Jordan. Good race, y'all. Good race.
And so much for fueling up the generator, as I believe this race was called on time, and Jordan Polly is gonna get the W here in the Valley of the Sun. Let's go back and take a look at Jordan's winning, well, I don't want to say winning move of the race, but let's see if we can at least get back the finish here. If it will let us. We're just going to let this thing run as this race was cut short, I believe, due to time restraint. But nonetheless, what a great showing for the Reaper Xfinity Series here in prime time. Gonna wait for our top three to please join me in the waiting room as we're gonna try to see if we can get Discord back up and running, as that has been the Achilles heel since the power outage. See if we can get this to fire back up on the desktop, so I'm to try to do this via mobile and manage the broadcast at the same time. We're gonna give it another shot here. And I think we're going to be good to go. Let's jump in here with the top three. Jordan Polly, Matt up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, my man.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, Jordan, another race here in the SSIL Reaper Xfinity Series. And yet again, another win for you guys in Whitehead Racing. How are you able to make this look so easy week in and week out?
Yeah, I don't know. Just come out here, give it our all. Just drive the wheels off the thing and do the best we can and give it 110% every week. I drove my ass off tonight, and it paid off.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you had to work for this one. It didn't come easy. It seemed like a lot of the calamity on the racetrack, I mean, came off of either, the stage closes when we go back to green flag racing, or off of incident back again to, wide open racing out there at the racetrack. Was that just a byproduct of this racetrack, or was it a combination of that and just drivers trying to get everything they can because track position was a premium tonight?
It definitely was a track position game there tonight, and pretty much every caution I could, I come down pit road, put some 4 fresh tires on it, and that made a difference as well. But it just felt like it was just super, super tight tonight. But I definitely drove it and gave it all she had, and thankfully we didn't get caught up in any of those wrecks tonight. And but yeah, I also got to thank Dalton and Jeffrey for racing me clean there. I threw a few blocks, but for the most part, I thought they were pretty clean.
Yeah, I'll agree. You guys certainly put on a show tonight, in proof that you don't have to wad up race cars and destroy the competition out there to put on a great show and have excellent racing out there on the racetrack. Before we cut you loose, let you go enjoy this one with your team. Who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done there on that Supra?
First and foremost, like to thank Charles Whitehead for bringing me up
Race control
on
scoring
board.
has ended.
I didn't even get to do my burnouts there, but server disconnected. But yeah, no, just Charles Whitehead and all the Whiteheads for having me on board, and Flow Racing, obviously, Racers for Christ, and so far that's all we got. So hopefully maybe we can bring in some more sponsors if we keep winning like this.
I could not agree with you more. And Charles Whitehead certainly knows how to see new talent and pick them. He scooped you up quicker than anybody, and it's certainly paying off as Jordan Polly once again finds his way in victory lane here from Phoenix in the Valley of the Sun. Congratulations, my man. Before I cut you loose, one last question. What do you got from Cup Series this coming Thursday night?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where we're at there with our Cup program. I believe we got trucks tomorrow night. I believe at Texas as well. So, and we go Thursday night with the Cup at Texas. So hopefully we'll have a pretty good showing. I did some testing earlier today and last night, and it went pretty decent. So we'll see what we got come race day. But just go out there and give it all she's got.
Well, there you go.
And hopefully I'll see you in victory lane again.
Yes, sir. Well, that won't be me. You're going to have to follow along Jordan Polly as he goes for the sweep this week over on Court Racing Network. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like and subscribe to Dylan McDonald's channel as well to make sure you can follow Jordan in the rest of the SSIL series each and every week. But again, Jordan, want to thank you for stopping up here in the booth. Congrats on the win, and hopefully we'll see you here, same place, same time next Monday. In prime time once again, buddy.
Yep, hopefully I'll see you there.
Yes, sir. Well, that is your winner here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, driver of the 57. Next up in the Redline Racing broadcast booth, driver of the 3, Jeffrey. You got me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's finally a pleasure to get to talk to you, man. You have certainly been a force to reckon with out here in this inaugural season. You get yourself a podium finish in the 3. Walk me through this race tonight. Did this kind of unfold as you had planned, or did you guys have to kind of dynamically make some changes on the fly to make sure that 3 stayed competitive over the course of the run?
It was completely on the fly. Made a few mistakes myself, lost a lot of track position, beat up the right side, took my fast repair too early. Had to fight back from the back again, and I'm just happy to bring it home third. To be honest, it was a pretty tough night.
Yeah, I mean, you really had to battle through adversity, as you mentioned, kind of played the race dynamically on the fly. You know, how does this car respond to that damage out there on the racetrack with this Xfinity package versus, let's say, that new next gen?
It's a lot more. I don't know. The suspension is what really matters. You can kind of run these things into the wall pretty good, and they take it, but they're definitely a lot more weak than the next gen. The next gen, you can really pound it into the wall, and it still keeps going and holds its speed.
Yeah, this older race car, solid rear axles here, H pattern, nothing like the newer modern Cup car. But you're right, you have to, be more attentive with this race car and certainly take care of it. And sometimes you got to throw the jokers on the table, change up the strategy, and that's exactly what you did as you come home P3 here tonight. Next week on the schedule, we're going to a little bit of a different style racetrack. What do you think you're going to have in store for him next Monday night?
See, where are we going? Coda.
Yes, sir.
I'm probably going to buy the track on Saturday and put some laps in, and we'll see how it goes. I like road courses. Learn them pretty well and pretty quick, so I like my chances. We should do pretty good there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that much about you, but I know enough to know you are, or I hear you're a road course ace, so look for you to continue the momentum next week. Before I cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on that Toyota?
My wife, first and foremost. She supports me, lets me do this every week. All the guys over at Threat Level Midnight. It's nice to have other voices and interpretations and stuff we can bounce off each other. You, of course, for putting on the broadcast. I like going back and watching it. And all the guys that put the league on and giving me something to do on Mondays.
Well, there you go. Monday night is certainly not dull in prime time as long as the driver of the 3 is in the field, making moves, making bank once again here in the Reaper Xfinity Series as he comes home to another strong third-place finish. Congratulations, man, and thanks for joining me up here in the booth. And certainly last but not least, he comes home in that third-place position tonight. Driver of the 46, Dalton McKinney. You got me, bud.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, Dalton, first and foremost, congratulations on a runner-up finish. Did you have anything for the leader, or do you think you got everything you could out there on the racetrack as far as positions go?
Yeah, I feel like if we could have got to 200 laps, it would have fell into my hands a little bit better. And even more so Racky, he was really good on the long runs. I was saving my stuff, and once I found out that we were running out of time and we weren't going to make it to lap 200, I had to start pushing it a little quicker than I wanted to, and I think I ruined the right front. And then once we got back on fresh tires, it's just so hard to get alongside someone and complete the pass here until the tires kind of wear off. So I feel like I could have if it would have played out a little different, but just kind of how it goes, part of racing, and we'll take second tonight.
Absolutely, and like I said earlier, momentum breeds momentum. Certainly going to a much different style of racetrack next week. How's your road course program over there in your camp?
It's not great. I'm probably bottom of the team, a threat level when it comes to the road course. I just shoot for stay on the track, get top 10s, and that's definitely not circled by any means. So we'll just survive it and look forward to Martinsville.
Hey, certainly you got to survive to stay alive, as you are in a heated points battle. However, I will leave you with this. The last time I had someone in the interview say that the next week they actually went out and run the race. Hopefully, or maybe, we can see a similar feat as we stop at COTA next week. I want to come back to this race car. You mentioned tires. That track temp was a blistering 138 degrees at one point. Did that play an impact on just how difficult and how treacherous it was out there trying to gain spots on the racetrack?
Oh, for sure. It was really easy to slide them. Even when I was just trying to roll the bottom and, roll through the center of the corner, try not to light them up. There was a lot of half throttle off exit. Once you get down there to 10, 15 to go, and I was chasing Jordan, we were roasting the right rear off the corners. We were sliding the right front on entry. We were definitely being tough on them. That's kind of the nature of this track. It's not real difficult to take care of the tires, but once I had to start pushing it a little earlier than I wanted to, I really didn't have much of a chance after that.
Thank you for that excellent analysis and breakdown of just how tricky that scorching track temperature in the desert tonight played a critical factor in tonight's outcome of the race. And as always, before we cut you loose, bud, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 46?
I got to thank my girlfriend, Caitlin with Birdie Blooms. Got her on the hood. It's always fun repping her. I know she's been watching a lot of these. Got to thank everyone at threat level. Like Radke said, it's always nice to have them guys in our ear. We really work well together and bounce ideas off each other. And I know I'm a better driver after racing with them guys. Everyone that puts on the league, and you for putting on the broadcast, and then my painter Johnny Williams. He's been hard at work lately. We got a couple throwback races coming up in some other leagues. He's been getting me looking good, and look forward to next week. As much as I can at road course, but we'll see what happens.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Great heads-up driving tonight from the driver of the 46 as he survived the carnage, the mayhem, and the epic track temperatures to pilot that 46 home to that second-place position. That is, once again, Dalton McKinney. As you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, it says replay because that session indeed has ended. As in the sim racing world, one of the few things that can plague us here is time, and that was not our friend tonight, as that did end up cutting our race short. I want to thank everyone for joining us here live on Redline Racing Network. If you could once again like, subscribe, join the family as we are closing in on that elusive 1,000 subscriber mark, we would absolutely appreciate it. And make sure you turn in next week as we go off of the high banks to the road course. If you're a fan of that, make sure you're here at 9 p.m. in prime time, Eastern time, to watch the Reaper Cities do battle going right and left. Only place to see it's right here on Redline Racing Network. Cannot do this with all the partners, the fans, the teams that make this all possible. Without you guys, this simply could not be put on each and every week. So we got to give the thanks and the credit where that is due. And as my great late broadcast partner used to close every race, as you walk down the road of life this week, ladies and gentlemen, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic. And we'll see you next time right here on Redline Racing Network.